Dad, I love this show.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character is Batman. Other than Spider-Man, he's my favorite superhero.
Well, guess what? We're gonna watch Batman Begins tonight.
Really? Oh, you guys are the best! Oh man, that's awesome. You know what would be awesome? If they actually made a movie about Batman and Superman and maybe even Wonder Woman coming together. That'd be awesome. That'd be the best movie ever.
That sure would be great, son.
Guys, I think Zack Snyder might have slightly, completely just assaulted my childhood. Alright guys, so let's get down to it. I got my little notepad with notes that I wrote down during the movie. And the movie is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, I have been waiting for this movie like crazy. Ever since it was announced, I was like, holy shit, Batman v Superman. Batman versus Superman. Finally, these two iconic characters finally colliding on the big screen. That's going to be amazing. It was not as amazing as I thought it'd be. And then I heard they were going to cram Wonder Woman in there. And that's like, Wonder Woman? Oh my god, it's the Trinity. And then they're going to put in Aquaman, and then they're going to put in all these other Justice League characters, and I'm thinking, okay, it's basically Justice League, pre-Justice League, Dawn of pre-Justice League, okay, don't really care that much. It's Batman v Superman. Finally, these two characters are going to make their debut appearances in a new universe, well, not Superman, Wonder Woman is, and they're finally going to be together. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is a movie directed by Zack Snyder, and it stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Jesse Eisenberg, and other characters that we barely care about. You see this Batman right here? This Batman. This is Batman. You know it's Batman. I mean, it's Batman. But the movie Batman, I mean, it's fucking Batman. Batman is in this movie. Ben Affleck is Batman. Ben Affleck's incarnation, his interpretation of the Batman, is the best Batman we've seen so far. Now, this Batman is brutal. He's just unforgiving. He's relentless. It looks exactly like the comic books. I mean, it's crazy because it looks that good. The cowl looks amazing. It looks like the Jim Lee cowl. Fantastic. He fights just like Arkham, the Arkham games. Arkham City, Arkham Knight, those games. Just pummeling guys, just flying through people. He gets a crate and he swings it around people and he's boom and he crashes through people, breaks bones, and then he just shoots people and blows them up. Wait, whoa. He shoots people and he blows them up? So Batman here in this movie, he actually kills people. Off screen, so it's perfectly fine. This Batman, you don't really, it's never really explained like if he actually like literally kills them, but you can kind of tell that after, you know, a guy blowing up and, like blowing up this guy's car and driving over a guy, like you would think, I think that guy's kind of dead, right? But it's never really kind of explained. Ben Affleck is Bruce Wayne. Fantastic. The movie starts off, it's kind of obvious it's going to start off like this, with the destruction of Metropolis. Fantastic scene. Absolutely loved it. It's tense. Batman is chasing the destruction, the ship, and it's just fantastic. The effects in this movie are all in all amazing. The visuals. Zack Snyder is a very visual director, and his visual take on things is just fantastic. You get a lot of Dark Knight Returns kind of feel for it, which is great, because Batman actually uses guns, but not like to kill people, but he uses it to like shoot, you know, trackers or like rope darts and like hooks and stuff like that. And you know, that makes sense. I mean, he has like a little gun, which is like basically the bat grappling hook. Henry Cavill as Superman. Now, this guy looks exactly like Superman. Exactly like Superman. Does he act like Superman? No, but he looks like Superman. I mean, that counts, right? Henry Cavill's acting in this movie is not the best, but I mean, like, he did well with what he had. He didn't really have a chance to show his range as much. Kind of wouldn't, but it was good. When he's angry though, he's like great. He's great. When he gets angry, his eyes get red with the you know, heat vision. fantastic. Now, Gal Gadot, whenever she appears, it's hard to steal the spotlight from Batman because Batman is basically the movie. It's Batman and his bitch, Superman, Dawn of Justice League. That's what it is. Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot, I don't know how you say her name. She comes out and she is in like the armor and it looks fan-freaking-tastic. It looks exactly like from the comic books. And again, one of my favorite shots in the trailers, which ruined it, but one of my favorite shots in the trailers, the Trinity assembled was fantastic to see on screen. That will give you assured cheering in the audience because there were people cheering in my theater when Wonder Woman came on. That was like the only part they cheered. Now Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. Okay, now this is a little bit going backwards because Lex Luthor is supposed to be this calm, calculated villain that has like outbursts of rage, which is kind of scary and intimidating. But Jesse Eisenberg plays this kind of psychotic little kid. That is basically, he hates God, and he hates Superman, he hates the idea of Superman, someone being a god, and he wants to flip a painting around. As Lex Luthor, he is like, not Lex Luthor. Like, as any psychotic villain, he's fantastic. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is a great actor. He really is fantastic in this movie, but as Lex Luthor, you just feel like this, okay, maybe restrain yourself a little bit. Because he can't keep it in his pants, honestly. He's like twitching. He's like, Granny's peach tea. It's like, whoa, it's kind of scary. Like, I get what they were trying to do. There's also a scene, this is the weirdest scene. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg has some of the best scenes and some of the worst scenes, because there's a scene where he's talking to a CIA agent, and he gets like a Jolly Rancher, and he just starts like slowly like putting it in his mouth. And he's like, it's cherry. Here you go. And he starts like licking his fingers. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? This is Batman v Superman, and the tone is like all over the place. Because it's dark and sometimes it tries to be funny, but then the movie is really just barely funny at all, and it's really just dark and depressing. And it kind of sucks because usually Superman's like this hopeful figure, but he really doesn't seem like that in this movie. Why? The thing is that Batman is the main character in the movie, and what's happening is that you're seeing everything through Bruce Wayne, Batman's vision, his perspective on things. And you see him, and you're like, well, maybe, you know what, maybe Superman is a bad guy. And you see, I know what the movie's trying to do. The movie's trying to pit these two characters against each other and make it like, oh, I don't know which side to choose. But this isn't really about sides. This is about understanding the motivations between the two characters. And it's really kind of messy. Amy Adams is also in this movie, and she interprets Lois Lane. Lois Lane in the beginning of the movie is great. She's really smart. She knows what she's doing. She's a capable reporter. And, you know, she's doing her job. She's trying to find out this conspiracy thing that's in the movie. And after that, she becomes completely useless. Like, they actually try to write her in the movie to make her really a lot more relevant, but it's like, it doesn't work. At the end of the movie, she throws something out, and then she has to go back and get it. And then she's like, oh, God, I have to go get this. And then she gets into trouble, and then it's like, oh, God. They tried to make her so relevant, and it just wasn't working. Just focus on Wonder Woman. Lawrence Fishburne, great. Perry White, fantastic. The guy, I have no problems with him. He was snippy, he was witty, he was just a dick, and he was funny, and he was great because the movie needed some comedy relief because it's so goddamn dark. Now, Jeremy Irons as Alfred Pennyworth, whew, fantastic. It is one of my favorite performances. I think the biggest problem this movie had was that, I mean, the movies, like the plot points, some of the plot points were freaking brilliant. But they executed them so badly, and there's just so much build-up to this climactic fight between Batman and Superman that you're like waiting for it, and you're like, oh, I'm almost there, and it's like, at a point you're just like, I really don't care anymore. Batman killing, why? Why would you make Batman kill? It's ridiculous. If you have Batman kill, then how are they going to have a dynamic with the Joker now? Joker is always like pushing Batman to kill him, then Batman's going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe I will, and he just stabs him in the gut, and it doesn't make any sense because, oh, Batman kills now. And it's never really, like, mentioned. Like, they could have actually mentioned it. It could have been, like, Batman is mad and he's, like, angry that Robin died, maybe. Like, I mean, you see Jason's suit, and he's like, maybe he tells Alfred, like, I'm going to start killing people. And then Alfred's like, no, you're crossing the line. And then Batman's like, no, I think it's fine. Because, I mean, this, like, you know, just taking down criminals and sending them to jail isn't working. I thought that would have made more sense. It would have given Superman a better motivation to go after Batman. Something like that. Alright, so let's get to the actual main point of the movie, Batman v Superman. Batman fights Superman, finally. The battle is at the end of the second act, and then the third act starts like with another battle right away, so you don't feel like after this battle, like something happens, like, okay, we just fought, you know? It's like, no, like, oh, fight, and then another fight. Whoa! And then that other fight is, you guessed it, a huge extra mutated Ninja Turtle. Oh wait, no, I meant Doomsday. Sorry. So Doomsday in this movie, why is he in this movie? I have no idea. Doomsday is such a pivotal character in the Superman mythos, and they just like shoehorned him in. They honestly did, and you just feel that. I'll give you this, when he first appeared, he's huge. Whoa! Doomsday, and he like can grab Superman, just like throw him around. So any more things that I'm going to talk about more in depth, I will talk in the spoiler review. I will say, Granny's peach tea, Grandma's peach tea, is that it, peach tea? Orange tea? No, peach tea. It's probably got to be peach tea. Granny's peach tea was my favorite part of the movie. You see this thing, and it's really just this tense moment. You're like, okay, maybe this movie, you know, this movie's good. You know, like, it's all this build up to this moment. You're like, Granny's peach tea! And then after Granny's tea, it just turns from like this political thriller movie to just like a fest of violence and just bleh. You know? And this movie had so much potential and they just squandered it. If it was just a direct adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns, this movie would have been so much better, but it just wasn't. It didn't know what it wanted to do. Superman was all over the place. There were 2 dream sequences, which were unnecessary as hell, and then after that there's a cameo, which is even more unnecessary, because it makes no sense. And it's not even explained afterwards. One of the things I liked about this movie, Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, amazing. They excelled in this movie. I know it sounds like I'm bashing this movie a lot. I mean, this movie had positives. It did have positives, but I mean, isn't it more entertaining to listen to the negatives? I mean, it's better to talk about the negatives. I mean, what could I talk about positives? Batman was great, yay, let me just talk more about Batman. I mean, that's like boring, come on. Let's actually get in deep with what was wrong with the movie, because that's actually could spark up conversation. Now, I'm not going to give this movie a 0 out of 5, even though it sounds like I'm going to. The movie was not bad. It was not awful. It was not good either. It was just kind of eh. And, I mean, it had so much potential. Wow. Granny's peach tea. One of my favorite parts of the movie. It was fantastic. But right after that, everything just went completely downhill. It was alright. It was like political thriller, and then it's like, no, we just want like sci-fi crapfest of violence and explosions. And the final fight has so many explosions that it feels like Michael Bay got like into steroids and then just put the steroids into his film and then made like an entire explosion movie. Like literally, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Explosions. That's what this movie should be called, because there's so many explosions. If people thought what happened to Metropolis at the end of Man of Steel was bad, wait till you see this, because this thing is nothing compared to that. It's insane. So yeah, guys, I'm going to give Batman v Superman a 3 out of 5 stars. Not a bad movie, not a great movie, it was just average. And I loved Batman, loved Wonder Woman. The score for the movie was divine. Superman was okay. Everything else kind of fell flat. But because the acting was all good, and that's one of the main focuses in a movie, then I gave it a pretty high score because of that. The visuals are amazing. Sound design is amazing. The cinematography in the movie is brilliant. But the story and just the pacing and the editing is just, oh god. And also I'm going to be doing a spoiler review with Sam Sees, a pal of mine who also does movie reviews. You should check him out. And this spoiler review is going to be with questions, and I'm going to talk really in-depth about what I liked and what I hated about this movie. And there's a lot I hated, but there is a lot I love too. Ben Affleck is really shining in this movie. Fantastic. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a nice day. I have no idea how to end my videos yet. I don't have like a catchphrase or anything, so I guess that's basically what I'm stuck with.